Take a look at what's going on in Belgrade. Rallying around Ukraine as they don't trust Donald Trump because Trump tried to cut them all out of the negotiations with Putin.
Did you know Putin just offered a ceasefire that would basically erase Ukraine from the map? This isn't peace, it's surrender on steroids, and it shows how desperate Vlad's getting as his buddies in Europe face angry mobs demanding their heads. Meanwhile, Trump's sweating through his spray tan watching his dictator fan club crumble. In Hungary and Serbia, his authoritarian besties Orban and Vučić are facing massive protests.
Vučić regime, allied with Vladimir Putin there, is now facing massive uprisings and massive protests there.
Nothing scares Grumpy Trumpy more than seeing regular people stand up to strong men, because he knows he could be next. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. You know what keeps Donald Trump up at night? It's not the Big Macs or the Diet Coke. It's watching his dictator buddies getting their butts kicked by regular people with protest signs. Nothing terrifies our orange overlord more than seeing strongmen fall. Take Viktor Orban, Trump's favorite mini-dictator from Hungary, who he practically writes love letters to. Right now, Orban's sweating through his suit as tens of thousands of angry Hungarians fill the streets of Budapest.
Donald Trump's biggest nightmare, the fascist leaders who he admires, are all being cornered right now.
His opposition leader didn't mince words either, flat out telling him, "It's over for you, comrade." Ouch. That's gotta sting worse than Trump's spray tan when it rains. But wait, there's more trouble in dictator paradise. In Serbia, Trump's authoritarian buddy Vučić is watching his power crumble as hundreds of thousands of protesters pack Belgrade's streets.
Take a look at what's going on in Belgrade.
These aren't small gatherings either. We're talking massive crowds demanding his entire regime pack their bags and get lost. The pattern doesn't stop there. Georgia's Putin-backed government is facing similar massive protests. It's like a democracy wildfire spreading across Eastern Europe, and Trump is watching his little dictator club membership shrink faster than his actual inauguration crowd. So how's Trump handling this authoritarian apocalypse? Like any totally stable genius would, by completely freaking out. He's now invoking actual wartime powers through the Alien Enemies Act, claiming the US is being invaded by Venezuelan gangs.
For you, he said, "It's over for you, comrade." Let's take a look at what's going on in Belgrade, in Serbia.
Trump's calling it a hybrid threat, which is basically dictator speak for "I'm scared" and making stuff up. This summer of democracy is showing something Trump desperately doesn't want Americans to notice, that even the most entrenched strongmen can be toppled when people get fed up with authoritarian nonsense. Every protest sign in Budapest is like a personal attack on Trump's ego. Meanwhile, as Trump's dictator pals are shopping for one-way tickets to non-extradition countries, Europe and other democratic allies are uniting against authoritarianism without even asking for America's permission slip. They've basically put Trump and his strongman buddies on read and aren't waiting around for a response.
Rallying around Ukraine as they don't trust Donald Trump because Trump tried to cut them all out of the negotiations with Putin.
Europe isn't just ignoring Trump, they're actively working around him while Putin attempts a desperate peace con job that's about as convincing as Trump's hair in a windstorm. Just when you thought the dictator domino effect couldn't get more entertaining, Vladimir Putin decided to phone up his BFF Donald to pull the oldest trick in the authoritarian playbook. Picture this. Putin rings up Trump claiming Russian forces have totally encircled Ukrainian troops. Poor Ukrainian soldiers. They desperately need Trump to swoop in and save them. Except there's one tiny problem. It's complete bull. Military experts confirm that while Russia is trying to surround Ukrainian forces, they haven't actually succeeded. Classic Putin move. Exaggerate your position to seem stronger than you are. Kind of like Trump's inauguration crowd size claims.
Of democracy here in the United States. States. Donald Trump's looking at this and he's like, am I next?
The real comedy started when Zelensky called Putin's bluff by agreeing to a 30-day unconditional ceasefire. Suddenly, Putin's tune changed faster than Trump switches positions on literally anything. The tough guy who was supposedly winning the war started mumbling about nuances that need to be discussed before any ceasefire. Translation: wait, you weren't supposed to actually agree to this.
Towards a just and lasting peace, we must keep strengthening our support to Ukraine and increasing the pressure on Putin.
What Putin really wants is for the root causes of the conflict to be addressed first, which is fancy talk for Ukraine should just stop existing as an independent country, pretty please. It's like a burglar breaking into your house, then offering to stop stealing your stuff if you first agree that everything in your house actually belongs to him.
What's going on in Budapest, in Hungary, where Viktor Orban, Donald Trump's buddy, is losing badly in the polls?
Meanwhile, the Europeans are done waiting for America's permission slip. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer gathered a coalition of the willing to support Ukraine, making it crystal clear. If Putin is serious about peace, it's very simple. He has to stop his barbaric attacks on Ukraine and agree to a ceasefire. No ambiguity there. Just straight talk while Trump gets left out of the loop entirely. Zelensky, playing 4D chess while Putin and Trump fumble with checkers pieces, delivered the perfect political judo move. If Russia does not agree, it means they are not disagreeing with our proposal, but specifically with Trump's proposal. Boom! Either Trump backs Ukraine or looks like Putin's puppet. Checkmate.
Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister of the UK, held another meeting, this time a virtual meeting of the Coalition of the Willing.
And Trump's brilliant response to this complicated diplomatic situation. He proudly announced he appointed General Keith Kellogg as special envoy to Ukraine, who was already appointed back in November 2024. It's like showing up to a party and announcing you just discovered this cool new band called the Beatles. What we're seeing is nothing short of a democracy wildfire that's burning through the strongman club, and Trump's losing his backup dancers one by one. Europe isn't waiting around for America's permission slip anymore. Keir Starmer's coalition of the willing is showing that when democracies band together, they don't need Trump or his permission to stand up to Putin's nonsense. World leaders have basically put Trump in the international timeout corner, with polling showing global trust in his foreign policy has tanked faster than his casino businesses.
As well as Donald Trump has attacked world leaders across the world, they don't want to do business with the United States.
European leaders have gotten the message loud and clear. They can't count on America as long as Trump's playing footsie with dictators. So they're taking their ball and building their own military playground. This isn't just bad news for Putin, it's Trump's worst nightmare. As protests spread from Budapest to Belgrade, Donnie Diapers must be wondering if he might be the next strongman getting the boot. The summer of democracy is just getting started, folks, and Grumpy Trumpy's sweating through his spray tan.